need to be fucking recalled. Oh, wait, we can't because 17th Amendment.
All right, we are now recording.
All right, so we're talking about stupid idiots getting shot. I love this shit. So first and foremost, let's talk about this because I just saw it. So just so you guys know, don't try to send me shit on fucking Twitter right now. Like, fucking make sure you link it here on Discord because
Twitter is so screwed up right now. People are getting absolutely hammered and shadow banned right now.
Well, no, that's not the problem. Is I'm locked out of my account right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm full bore locked out of my account because I made a post saying kill commies in reply to somebody and you know they're like, oh, this is violent speech, and I'm like, and they call for our deaths every day of the week and yet you don't ban them.
Yep.
Sorry, I was in the middle of playing Cyberpunk.
No worries.
Stoner, you're fine. We literally just got done with a 45-minute conversation of fucking Mech Warrior, so you're good. Anyways, getting back to the point. So, but anyway, so I haven't been on Twitter much the past, 5-6 days because there's no fucking point because I can't reply to anything at this point.
I shut down my Twitter because I got tired of all the bullshit.
All right, so I'm just gonna read this off real quick. This is a summary by Grok, and it matches up with what we're seeing. The U.S. Senate voted 41 to 47, which I will then ask where are the other two motherfuckers on Thursday to end President Donald Trump's tariffs on imports from over 100 countries. With four Republicans, Susan Collins, Mitch McConnell, Lisa Murkowski, and Rand Paul. I will not call them senators because they don't deserve to be senators. They can all eat a dick. Joining all Democrats and independents. The resolution challenges Trump's use of the emergency powers under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to impose the duties following similar votes earlier in the week on tariffs targeting Brazil and Canada. Oh, interesting. It's almost like the Senate's working for the Globo homos. Gotta love it. Economists project the tariffs increase annual household costs by $1,300 and reduce 2025 GDP growth by 0.5%. Just so we're aware, $1,300. Oh
Wait,
no! Woe is me.
It's only about $130 a month.
Hand me my tip, please.
Woe is fucking me. Let me just put it into perspective for you guys. I am putting out around $800 a month to service debt.
Yeah.
Debt
hold
is,
on.
I don't give a...
So I thought the government was shut down.
Oh, yeah, isn't it interesting? The Senate's able to have a vote, but the government's shut down? Interesting. It's almost like they planned that. Anyways.
Well, we got a whole bunch of governor's races that are... I think there's like 7 of them.
Yeah.
That are happening on Monday or Tuesday?
Yep.
And some of them that
Tuesday.
really shouldn't be competitive are pretty competitive right now.
Oh man, isn't that the truth?
Like New Jersey is like polling in like,
I will tell them in a minute.
Okay, real quick, let me finish up here. So just for the sake of my example, $800 a month. Servicing debt. I don't give a fuck about your $130, less than $130 increase. Actually, real quick,
it's $108.3333 on into infinity dollars per month.
There we go. Let's just play it nice and nice and round, and let's say $100. I don't give a shit about your $100 a fucking month. I care about the $800 fucking dollars in debt that I have to, or $800 that I have to put out servicing fucking debt because of other bullshit that has gone on in previous years. So please, fucking spare me. And then also the fact that they're specifically trying to cozy up with Brazil and Canada. No, the snow monkeys can go fucking eat a dick, and the fucking little bitches down in South America, guess what? We're gonna fucking conquer you too, motherfuckers. Anyways. So and then
rumbling
GDP.
about a possible invasion of Venezuela.
Well, yes, but honestly speaking, Venezuela, like we're running a containment strategy with them right now. That's it. And then the GDP growth thing. GDP is not it's not a measure of the productivity of the economy. It's a fucking measure of government spending.
Yes.
The way they do it, yes.
It's like I don't give a shit about GDP. I don't. If you told me, oh, GDP went down 2%, I'm like, oh, so the government stopped spending as much money. Interesting. Wonder how that happened. And then, of course, it sums it up. Though the measure is unlikely to advance in the House due to rules blocking such votes and faces a potential veto. Yes. Fucking tar and feather these feckless bastards. Burn them all. Anyways. Hostility is here and hostility is present. So let's talk about stupid people. Well, okay, wait. We were just talking about stupid people. Never mind. How many ice ambushes have we had so far? If I'm counting correct,
I've
counted 5 so far.
I would double that.
Probably.
Well, probably, but the ones that I've seen actually fucking make the rounds, I've seen 5 so far.
Well, did you say ice attacks or ice ambushes?
Ambushes. Like people fucking coordinate, like, and mind you, look how fucking coordinated this shit is. This isn't a case of these motherfuckers are just coming out of fucking nowhere and they're seeing they're seeing cars that they think are ice, and so they're fucking just being little disruptive bastards. No, these motherfuckers are coordinated as fuck. They know. Yeah. First off, I'm gonna say this right fucking now. There are fucking attaches from the local police with these ice teams, and the attaches are feeding information to whoever. I'm telling you that right fucking now.
I'm not surprised that there's moles.
The local cops are the ones responsible for this shit.
Yeah, a lot of them are. Absolutely.
Are those sons of bitches going to get punished or not?
Well, it's just it's all about evidence. If a dude ends up getting outed as he was feeding information and he resulted in feds getting injured, yeah, he's going to fucking Leavenworth just for shits and gigs, because then they're going to make him disappear to fucking get him out. He's going to go have fun with the jihadis.
The few that we still have left.
Yeah, true. There's not many left, but so we've had the ice ambushes, which, you know, this newest one out of Chicago, that one was fucking hilarious to me because, oh my god, they lit those fucking bastards up. Like, they just said, nope, we ain't playing this fucking game right now, and just fucking started lighting shit up, and I was just like, yes. That's good. I can
think of 2. Well, no, I can think of 2 vehicle-borne versions and a third that was on foot. The first vehicle-borne one, there was an ICE agent that took a couple shots with his sidearm after a lady in a car took one shot at them. And then the second vehicle-borne one, I have not seen video of it, and I've not seen solid reporting, but what I've heard, and I'm not going to say this is what happened until I can actually see solid proof of it, is one of the ICE agents came out of this, one of the passengers, I think backseat, came out of the side of the car after they got trapped and just mag dumped out of a carbine into one of the cars in front of them and just shattered the front windshield. Now, I've not seen video of it, but I have heard of it and different versions of it multiple times. So I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, and there's also the one that Mike mentioned, which, for those who are unaware, 2 people attempted to ram a U-Haul truck into a Coast Guard base that was assisting ICE at the time in, I think it was Chicago, right? Or was
Yes.
that in Chicago? And the Coast Guard just unloaded, just fucking mag dumped them.
Yeah, pretty much all of this stuff is happening in Chicago right now.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed.
Well, and it's because they're scared shitless of what's going to happen when the feds fucking take over completely. They're scared shitless. Like, they know their Tammany Hall bullshit is on the fucking ropes, and they know damn well that once it's exposed, they're fucking done.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but haven't there been other U-Haul related attacks as well? I seem to remember hearing, like, lots of stuff about U-Hauls over the past, like, couple of months.
So ICE is utilizing U-Hauls and Penske's and other shit like that to do operations, because they roll into a neighborhood. They got like 12 guys in the back of a U-Haul. They roll into a neighborhood. They fucking jump out quick, fucking start storming neighborhoods. Because they know where these people are. They just don't want to give them a chance to fucking run.
Right.
Because when you're trying to pre-position a bunch of fucking individual cars, that's a bit of an issue. But if you can just roll in one vehicle that's really, 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 really inconspicuous, and then jump and do your thing, it makes operations easier. But then there's also been leftist groups that have been using U-Hauls to disrupt traffic, because what they do is that they rent the U-Hauls through a business, and most of the time it's through NGOs. They rent the U-Haul through one of these NGOs, and so there's no paper trail back to the individuals in question, and so then they will go out and they will be disruptive to ICE operations directly with said vehicles.
Isn't that then very dangerous to the NGOs? Like, I'd assume the NGOs would much rather sacrifice a few, like, street trash Antifa than, like, you know, be directly implicated in this.
These NGOs, no. So what you have to understand is these NGOs, most of them are untouchable at the moment, because they don't operate within the United States. They don't operate normally. You know, like, for example, Soros. The Soros Foundation, while yes, they operate within the U.S., they're not the same as other, like, it's not like a charity group that's got a main office, you know, in downtown. It's not like that. These operational groups, they operate on a much higher level, and they're so, like, how to explain it? Okay, so let me explain it like this. So imagine these NGOs are just a bunch of bank accounts. Like, think of them like that. They're just a bunch of bank accounts, and when those bank accounts come online, the feds are able to clamp down on them as soon as they come online. Right. But how fast can they funnel their money to where it needs to go? And that's the true measure. The feds have been jumping on these accounts as hard as they fucking can. That's what most of the ICE operations right now, the reason why the deportation numbers are so low, relatively speaking, to the level of operations, is because we're going after the money first. We're going after the laundering operations. We're going after the stash houses. We're going after this, that, so on and so forth. We're going after the infrastructure that supports the movement. And then once we take out that infrastructure, then we can start actually going after the fuckheads.
Yeah.
And that's one of the key things that a lot of people need to understand. Whenever I've gone into Twitter Spaces before, you know, within the past like 3 to 6 months, and dudes will be sitting there bitching and whining and crying about how the deportation numbers are garbage and that Trump failed and blah blah blah. And I'm like, you guys do realize we're still within the first year of his presidency, right?
Yep.
And we're taking cards off the table that our opposition cannot use after we take them off the table. Like, we are like, imagine you're playing Magic the fucking Gathering. Black decks are infamous for having cards that say fuck 3 cards in your hand, fuck 3 cards in your hand, fuck 3 cards in your hand, go to the graveyard, motherfucker.
Yep.
And so it's like we're literally leaving them without a hand to play with. We're forcing them into a situation where they can't fucking do anything. And then all of a sudden you're bitching and whining and crying because deportation numbers are low. Dude, look at the violent crime stats.
It doesn't matter how many people you take off the street if you don't if you don't break up the background infrastructure.
Exactly. But look at the violent crime stats. The violent crime stats are coming down across the fucking board because you're taking the worst of them out of the picture.
Yeah.
But then notice how property crime has soared. Because now the ones that are still here, they're starting to lash out, and so they're starting to do a bunch of property crimes. See, this is the stat that none of these motherfuckers want to talk about, because they always want to just talk about violent crime, and it's like, property crime. That's the number one crime that matters.
Yep.
One thing that I've that's been happening a lot is, especially on these border towns, where people in America have had their homes broken into and had their fucking guns stolen.
Yeah, and that's just the stuff we hear about.
Yeah. And of course, it wasn't just guns, it was other things too.
Yeah, no, property crime is the number one crime, period, in the story. And here's the thing to understand, is that when you start doing massive material damage to the individual, that hurts more than, oh, you killed somebody in the town. Okay, you kill somebody, you just remove somebody from the manpower pool. Okay? But what happens when you start causing tens of thousands of dollars of losses to 10, 15, 20 people?
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, that one person doesn't make up the difference. The economic damage from the property crime that's ongoing right now is fucking insane.
Yeah, we really need to treat this in a active field war situation where it's not the individual at the front line, it's we have to go after logistics.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are so far past the point of normal civilian policing. I mean, it's the police, local and federal, that need to do it because that's the way our system is set up.
Well, we've been past this point for 20 fucking years. The war on drugs was a failure from the start because they weren't targeting the money. They were targeting the product.
Oh, I know. The last time we were actively doing it properly is when we were hunting down Pablo Escobar.
Right.
That's the last time we did it properly.
Well, yeah, because look at what we did. We seized all of his fucking assets, and then all of a sudden he wasn't able to fucking do anything, and then we finally caught his ass.
Yeah. I mean, the closest we're doing it properly right now is, what's that guy's name down in Argentina?
Malay.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. No, not Argentina.
Venezuela?
Thank you.
Maduro.
We're off the coast shooting the boats up.
Yeah, Maduro.
Yeah, Maduro. That's the closest we're doing it properly right now.
Well, but here's the thing, though, is that the interdiction campaign that we're currently running off Venezuela, notice how the amount of shit coming through the southeast United States has dropped precipitously.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like we know their jump off point. Venezuela isn't the sole place that shit comes from, but it's the jump off point into the Caribbean, which then the Caribbean islands lead into the southeast United States.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I swear to God, if I see one more lowbird throwing a bitch fit because we're stopping fucking drugs the way that we are, I'm gonna burn their house down.
Yep.
Yeah. But going back to the property crime for a minute, one thing I'm not understanding why they're doing, like, it would make sense if they were like doing it in like our power bases, but they're doing it in their blue city. Like they're burning down their own power base.
So here's the point. Here's the point. So they're trying to put. Okay, so you put a population under pressure, and so you can one of two things. If the pressure is low enough, but it's consistent enough, it'll cause a population to go docile. It's not too bad. It sucks, but it's not like unbearable. All we have to do is let the cops do their job, et cetera, yada yada, so on and so forth. Then you have the operations that they're conducting outside of those areas. See, they're doing the low pressure campaign in their areas, and then they're doing the high pressure campaign outside of their areas. Because they're trying to get a response with the high pressure campaign. So this is why, like for example, all of these activists, judges, prosecutors, et cetera, them releasing people back into the public willy fucking nilly is part of the high pressure campaign. The low pressure campaign is just allowing the shit to happen and not really fucking doing anything about it. The high pressure campaign is actively facilitating.
But isn't it mostly in places like New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco that
you have to look. Well, that's the point. You have to look into the areas in particular. The areas where the high pressure campaign is going on right now, they're places like Staten Island. They're places like Dayton, Ohio. They're places like what's that one part of LA that's mostly Republicans? I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's on the north side of Los Angeles. But that's the whole point, is that the high pressure campaign is active in areas that are strong points within those areas. They're doing the high pressure campaign in those areas to drive people out. Because, like, for example, when the Palisades fire happened, okay, we straight up said it's either going to be it's going to be an arson thing because it smelled of arson through and through, and it's either going to be an Arab or it's going to be a Hispanic. Turns out it was a Hispanic. It was in fact it was fucking arson. So
and it wasn't just any Hispanic, it was an illegal Hispanic.
Now, then fast forward. What is currently happening? The city is slow rolling the process to get people back on their properties. They're slow rolling the process for the approvals, the inspections to make sure that people's houses that did survive are approved for habitation again, so on and so forth. Like, Peter Santinello did a great walkthrough of Palisades, and if you like, Dale, if you could put up an image, a screenshot of the video. I'll have to go find it for you real quick, but
all right.
Just put up a screenshot.
I'm drawing a blank. Where the horrific floods happened out in the Smoky Mountains, East Coast, like a year and a half ago, just before Trump came into.
Are you talking about when Hurricane Helene blew through and affected eastern Tennessee and North Carolina?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, a good example of you used the Palisades fires. You go up into the mountains, people are still living in tents.
So let me kind of just keep going, because this whole thing, like, there's a process behind it. There is a thing going on in these areas that you need to understand. So you have the Palisades, which at this point in time, they plan on buying the whole region up, basically the whole neighborhood, and turning it into medium and high density housing.
Yeah, same thing.
It's basically going to turn into Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, same thing in Hawaii.
Then you have the situation with the Carolinas and the Appalachian regions with Helene. They are fighting a lot of these towns to get the permitting and everything going through, because there's a bunch of investment companies that are coming in saying, hey, we want this land.
Yeah, thank you. The Appalachian Mountains, not the Smokies.
Now,
we had a bunch of Amish folks coming in and trying to build homes and stuff for these people, and the fucking feds and local governments told the Amish to pound sand and get the fuck out.
Oh, they arrested a whole bunch of people.
I'm surprised that some of those mountain men didn't start shooting people.
Mind you, there's a reason why.
If the elections hadn't happened when they did, or it had gone differently, that would have happened.
Yeah, because notice how the feds got pulled out of the Helene zone very quickly after the election.
Oh, that reminds me. Earlier this week, or the tail end of last week, might have been Friday and going into the weekend, but I think it was Monday. There had been rumors and stories going around for ages about how they, not the EPA, the emergency response people that go down there. FEMA. FEMA was in fact making blacklists. They actually got the paperwork to prove it and released it.
Yeah.
It was proven true.
Oh, yeah, fucking Grindstone Ministries was talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah, I know. We even had regular people try to bring in supplies and stuff to the affected areas, and they were getting turned away by the government. And another thing that really pisses me off is whenever the National Guard showed up, and they had these staging areas for people gathering up supplies and staging supplies. The fucking National Guard helicopters were intentionally coming in there using their rotor wash to damage stuff.
No. Stop. Okay, real quick. That was already disproven.
Yeah, that one actually.
I still don't believe it because those pilots knew what they were doing.
Listen. I've already talked to several people that were in the know in regards to that. That was not what happened. The problem is that the areas that you have these supply depots that were set up, the helicopter landing areas were set up with the mindset of civilian helicopters, not military helicopters.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that the rotor wash off of a small civilian helicopter is totally different than the wash off of a Black Hawk. Totally fucking different.
Yeah,
so
you're
when
looking
those
at 3 times size.
Yeah, when those Black Hawks were flying in to land at those locations, they were flying in the pre-designated routes. The problem is that those helicopters are so much bigger and more powerful than the civilian helicopters that were flying shit, that they were just it was an unintentional situation, and it was a problem all over the place. Like, these areas were just set up in a way because the National Guard got delayed so long coming in. So the entire infrastructure was set up for small civilian helicopters. Like,
the whole situation still pisses me off.
No, trust me. And the adjutant general of North Carolina did not handle that well whatsoever. The guy handled it very poorly. I will give you that. But at the same time, the pilots weren't doing anything intentional. It was literally a case of like, hey, sorry, our helicopters are a lot bigger. Like, there was one where a Chinook came in, and it literally annihilated one of the staging areas. Like, one of the staging areas was so fucking destroyed, they actually had to bring in volunteers to, recollect shit and put it into trucks to take it to another staging area, because the entire staging area had just gotten annihilated by the Chinook. And mind you, I've been under a Chinook before. The wash from one of those is fucking insane. Like, it almost knocked me on the ass.
You're standing in a hurricane.
Yeah. It almost knocked me on the ass.
You see those news guys on TV where they're leaning at 45 degrees forward? Yeah. Keep going if you're standing in one of them.
Yeah. So I understand your feelings. I honestly do. But at the same time, like, I've already talked to some people. I do know what happened in those situations. Now, when it comes down to the feds, the initial wave of feds being fucky wucky and doing stupid shit, oh yeah, absolutely. Fucking Tony Blinken wanted nothing to do with that whole situation. Or no, not yeah, Blinken. He was the national security advisor. Tony Blinken didn't want anything to do with that whole situation. He didn't want to deploy the military to it because he's like, but I need to have the military ready for deployments here, here, and here. So if I deploy them to North Carolina, then they're not going to be ready for fighting Russia. I need them ready to fight Russia. And that was his whole fucking mentality. And then Sullivan's fucking around over in the Middle East the entire fucking time, and he's like,
yeah, and also the way that the feds were also treating us really didn't endear us a whole hell of a lot to whenever they sent the National Guard in either. There was a lot of.
Well, yeah, of course.
Let's just say there was a lot of. What's the word I'm looking for?
Animosity.
There was a lot of animosity.
But
they intentionally created a lot of bad blood over there.
Well, yes, and the point is that you weren't operating with an actual government. You were operating under a stewardship. Biden wasn't president. He was just a steward occupying the seat. You had three motherfuckers running the government: Tony Blinken, Anthony Sullivan, and Victoria Nuland. And all three of them were interested in either fucking Ukraine, the Middle East, or Africa. That's the only thing they gave a fuck about. They didn't give a fuck about anything domestic. There's a reason why for 4 fucking years, anything that happened domestically was fucking ignored. And then fucking Kamala Harris fucking tried to be the big woman. Tried being the big woman in the room, but she was so out of her depth it was unfucking real. There's a reason why she ended up hiding out in the Naval Observatory as much as she did.
Well, there was one thing they were interested in domestically, and that was making sure Texas could not build that border wall.
That's
Yeah.
Or Arizona.
Like, the only thing that they were interested in was fucking over people who wasn't going to vote for them.
Yeah, importation.
But yeah, so, but that's the whole thing is that you look at all the shit that's been going on, and mind you, all of this is going on in a way that is they're literally just completely turning people against them, like the Palisades situation, like in the Peter Santinello video, like you can see it on people's faces. That like you can tell that people are uncomfortable with Peter's fucking line of questioning because they know how they feel. They just don't want to put it out there because they know damn well that they're going to be targeted. They know, and you can see it written on their faces. Like the one family. There's one family in this this video, and I'll specifically find the clip real quick. Hold on. There's one family in this video that their house miraculously survives because of the vegetation. Because they have these really big, I forget what they're called, what kind of tree they're called. But they have these really big fucking trees that surround their property. And, and because the trees are so old, and this is something a lot of people don't seem to understand about forest fires, by the way. This is why old growth forests tend not to burn the same way.
I know where you're going with this. Keep it up.
But because of the moisture content in the area around their house, because of these giant-ass fucking trees, their house is fine. Their property is fine. Everybody around them is gone. Their properties are just gone. And this one house just stands as a testament to, maybe plant a fucking tree on your property and fucking take care of it. Maybe plant 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the property, the clip starts around uh, 1 hour and 2 minutes and 5 seconds in the video. And if you just want to grab a still of the house and the property, which actually the timestamp I gave you gives a great little image. Like that's the property, and it's just untouched, and everything else around it is just fucking gone. But that's the point, is that, you know, this family, their property's good. They just need the insurance to approve the fucking cleanup process so they can move back into their property, because there's a bunch of contamination and whatnot that needs to be handled from the fire. Insurance is slow rolling it. The state's slow rolling it. Everything is being slow rolled. This family is not able to move back into their property, because if they do, these motherfuckers are going to all develop cancer later in life. And they're just getting screwed over. It's absolutely fucking despicable. But that's the state of these. That's the state of these nations. And I use the term nation on purpose because California, New York, they're all nations.
Yeah.
The nation of California is a fucking shit show. The nation of New York is a fucking shit show. The nation of fucking Michigan is a fucking shit show. All of these places are fucking shit shows, and nobody wants to actually have the real conversation that these nations need to be brought back to fucking compliance, because, oh, what that's mean. That's violent. Well, I don't give a fuck.
You know what? I don't give a fuck either. I'm ready to start Reconstruction.
Well, the kicker is Reconstruction was never finished because Lincoln was shot in the back of the head.
Yeah, unfortunately, if Lincoln had been able to run Reconstruction, see, here's the fucked up part: is Reconstruction should have ended by the time 1870 came around. However, because the carpetbaggers that came after Lincoln, they wanted their bag. And so they kept that shit going as long as they fucking could. That's why Reconstruction really didn't end until 1878.
And was never properly done either.
Well, no, that was the point. It was supposed to be a 5-year implementation, and it was supposed to be just a sweeping reconstruction effort to get the South back on its feet economically and get everything fucking back to business as usual. And then all of a sudden, you know, Lincoln gets shot, and then there's a bunch of other bullshit that goes on, and then the Democrats decide it's really ironic. Like, I do love that. It's like the party that literally came up with a way of setting up indentured servitude after the Civil War is the same party bitching at us that we're a bunch of fascists and we want to do this, that, and the other. It's like it's really ironic coming from you people.
I wouldn't. I'd actually go further than indentured servitude. I'd go straight to a serf class.
Oh, that's what it was. It was indentured. It was indentured servitude from the perspective of they would get these people into debt on purpose. And then they would be able to keep them around via the debt.
As I said, who remembers what sharecroppers were?
Exactly. That was the whole point.
Yeah. And then, despite everything that they tried to pull, by the 1950s, and let's just be frank, it was the black community. By the 1950s, the communities had actually fixed the majority of the problems themselves.
Oh, dude, earlier than that, 1920s.
Well, yeah, 1920s. It's a good point. But by the 1950s, the politicians and the people that were playing the politicians' strings realized, oh crap, this is not going to work. So they created the welfare state.
Yep.
Oh, no. You see, you're missing a couple points there. Because,
well, I know there's a couple more steps that go into it, but
yeah. Well, no. Here's the point. The 1950s, they realized the need for the welfare state in order to maintain their power. But
Yeah.
what caused such a hiccup and why they didn't get the welfare state implemented until the 70s was because the black community as a whole, black Americans, had managed to not only survive the 1920s attempts to repress them, but they also thrived. And it created a condition where that's why when you get into the 60s, they were attempting to do a lot of dirty ass shit, and that's what ends up sparking the true civil rights movement. Now,
If you want a really good example of it and easy to do, you pull up statistics on family numbers, marriage rates, children, divorce rates, religion, just straight up statistics. And you compare it from then to now, and it's horrifying.
Yep.
oh yeah,
Well, remember what Lyndon Baines Johnson allegedly said? Put those African American gentlemen on welfare. I'll have them voting Democrat for 200 years.
Yep.
Yes. Though he didn't put it as politically correct as you did.
eloquently.
Yes.
Yes.
But here's the end result is now, like, for example, you look at the situation in the Helene disaster zone. The HDZ is a gold mine. Like, it's a gold mine of opportunity for
HDZ.
the HDZ.
Helene disaster zone.
Sorry.
The HDZ is a absolute gold mine for the private equity guys that are the true enemy. Because here's the thing, is, fucking Martin Armstrong, for example, he is the king of private equity. Fucking Jerome Powell, king of private equity. Scott Bessent, king of private equity. These guys, they aren't the problem. They're the guys that made their fucking bag because they were as good as they were. No. The private equity guys we're talking about are BlackRock, Blackstone, fucking Vanguard. The guys that can't make it in the market, and so they have to find a way to convince people to give them assets under management, and then they go and buy assets for themselves using their assets under management.
Yep.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, BlackRock is a supposedly fucking $100 billion worth of a company, yet actually it's only worth around $30 billion because the majority of their value, quote unquote, is assets under management.
Mm-hmm.
On a scale of 1 to Johnny Silverhand, tell me how you feel about BlackRock.
Hiroshima.
Arasaka Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Bikini Atoll, Zarabama.
I honestly wonder when those companies are going to be broken up.
Well, that's the thing, is we're working on it.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't good old Teddy Roosevelt implement antitrust laws?
Well,
Yeah.
No. So this isn't a problem for antitrust. This is
Antitrust, anti-monopoly.
No, it's not it's not monopoly. No. This is a whole nother beast. See, here's the thing. It's not a monopoly because there's no product. What's the product with BlackRock? Seriously, what is the product? There's no product. There's no service. All they're doing is they're managing assets. That's all they're doing. And so it's a whole nother new beast that we have to learn how to understand and defeat. And we're currently working on it. JD Vance fucking hates BlackRock. Like, per my understanding, that guy has a bone to pick with BlackRock so fucking hard it's unfucking real.
Oh, gee whiz, I wonder why.
Because he's a tech bro that understands it.
Well, not just that, but also because there's something very special about Ohio.
Yeah.
Because BlackRock has attempted to come into Ohio, and we luckily have staved off the worst of it. They've managed to get their tentacles in a little bit, but we've managed to hold off their advances pretty fucking hard. Actually, it's really funny. The Mansfield Speedway, if you guys know what that is, which, by the way, if you guys are interested, I want to do a meetup if we can next May, if you guys are up for a vacation.
Yeah, we know what Mansfield Speedway is. We got a few NASCAR fans in here.
Mhm.
But
Personally, I prefer Indy, but I also enjoy NASCAR.
Dude, I don't care what kind of racing it is. I just love racing. I started with F3. You know, that's where I started with racing. But the point is that apparently the family that originally owned Mansfield Speedway before Matt Tiff bought it and started restoring it, apparently they were approached by BlackRock.
Mm-hmm.
BlackRock attempted to buy Mansfield Speedway. I've heard this through the grapevine.
Same with the Brickyard.
Yep. So, like, BlackRock has made attempts to get in, and the local ruling families of Ohio have told them to go fuck themselves on multiple occasions. Which, by the way,
I was also thinking, J.D. Vance was in Iraq when all the big shindig and stuff was going down. And what was the name of that big company that allegedly had a big hand in the dealings that was going on over there? What was it, Halliburton?
And all of them, and you'd have to be a little bit more specific in what kind of dealings, because there was a...
Yeah,
so
what dealings?
So wouldn't JD kind of have a real...
Are we talking... Okay,
personal-
real quick, Stoner. Are we talking about the Reconstruction bullshit?
I think so, because I heard that Halliburton
that was a lot of that was Halliburton. There were several other companies, like for example, Joe Biden's brother. I forget his name off the top of my head. His company had a lot to do with that shit, so on and so forth. Yeah, no, there's like the reconstruction stuff in Iraq was absolutely insane.
So yeah, he has a good personal understanding of how dirty corporations can be.
Oh, absolutely.
And who is the former head of Halliburton? Oh, right, Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dick Cheney.
Yep.
Emphasis on Dick.
But yeah, no, it's a simple fact that you're looking at a massive fucking battlefield. And the first battle, and we're winning handily, is in the financial markets. We're absolutely like I made a comment to my brother, and my brother he's like, it's not going to happen. I told him, because I made a statement about, well, if the EU keeps going the way they're going to be collapsing here in the next few years. He's like, that's not going to happen. And I'm like, really? Have you looked at the euro markets? Have you looked at the fucking numbers that are currently at play right now? Oh, wait, the euro can't trade outside of Europe? The pound is the only thing fucking settling accounts in Europe right now? Yeah. Tell me the EU is not collapsing in slow motion. Tell me that's not happening. Like, come on.
Outside of the EU itself, if nothing changes, for better or worse, I give them 10 to maybe 15 years. If it keeps getting worse, 10 years.
I honestly speaking, I'm not even that generous.
I say in Europe specifically.
By 2030, listen.
Then sooner.
Here's the thing. Here's the assessment I have. By 2030, if we can kill the forex trade, by 2030 the EU will be bankrupt, completely and utterly.
Well, I'm not just talking bankrupt. I mean broken, taken apart.
No. That's when once bankruptcy happens, the EU's done. Period. End of story. It falls with bankruptcy because the debt issue, the sovereign debt crisis that Europe is currently under. If all of a sudden the Italians decide we're done, The Northern Europeans it's over. There's nothing they can do. Period in a story. They can't rehypothecate their debt enough. Period in a story. And with the current situation where basically they're getting charged a 30% premium on US dollars, what are they gonna fucking do? All of a sudden they're sitting there and they're being told, hey, you gotta give us gold, or they're getting told by the Russians, let me rephrase. They're getting told by the Russians, you either gotta give us rubles or gold.
Yep.
In the case of the Americans, we're looking at them saying, we don't do euros. It's either got to be in pounds or it's got to be in Deutschmarks.
I thought Deutschmarks were extinct.
No, it's hold on. It's they have an intra-bank, like there's like an intra-bank currency that's technically the Deutschmark. Technically, it's not officially the Deutschmark, but it technically is. It still has value versus the euro, which, you know, the euro is basically fucking worthless at this point in time.
Why are we even
taking the European Union dealings? And the European Union's dealing with Russia. Isn't the EU like inches away from declaring war on Russia?
Yeah, let them. I don't care. Fucking watching Europeans killing each other is my favorite pastime.
Yeah.
With what army are they going to declare war with?
With the magical army that they're going to conscript, and then all of a sudden that army is going to be as combat effective as
There's only two countries in Europe that are actively building up their military. And you've got Germany, which is trying and is looking at another 20 years before they're successful. And you've got Poland. And you've got Poland, which is larger than Germany, France, and I'm forgetting the third one, Britain, I think, combined.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem.
And they're not part of the. Well, they
listen. Let me point something out with regards to two of those. First off, you're completely missing France. France is going on a hardcore spending spree right now.
No, they're trying.
Germany can't
being able to do it successfully.
Well, listen. France has the money. They can't get their recruitment numbers up because nobody wants to serve. They're talking about introducing 2-year conscription right now.
But they can't. There's also the fact that they can't get anything through Parliament.
Listen, yes, you're absolutely correct. You're not wrong. I'm telling you, this is what they're doing currently. So they're already having roadblocks because of recruitment numbers. Let alone anything else going on. The Germans don't have the money to spend. That's why they're talking about 20 years, because that's how little money they have available, or how much little money they have available to actually spend on increasing the size of the military. And right now they're trying desperately to get the KF Panther out, because they need to replace the Leopard 2A7s, because Leopard 2A7s are pieces of junk.
Oh God.
Then you have the Poles, which, here's the problem with the Poles. Yeah, the Poles have a big military. What about their reserves?
They are doubling their.
They can't. They can't.
Oh, they're succeeding right now.
No,
they're
not.
doubling from a little. Yeah, they are from a little over 100,000 to 200,000, and they're doing it right now. And they're planning by 35 to be up to a little over 300,000.
William. They're pushing their reserves into the standing army. They're not. This isn't new recruitment. This is their reserve forces.
They're also doing serious new recruitment, and they're the numbers.
The numbers aren't good though. That's the problem. Because
they're actually getting the numbers that they're looking for. They want higher numbers, but the way they've budgeted how many people per year, they're getting that.
Sure, But here's the problem, is that there are people fleeing Poland to avoid getting conscripted right now.
Here's also another question we need to ask in regards to their conscription, and that's the demographics question.
Well,
How many of the natives in those countries are going to really want to serve a country that's basically stabbing them in the back?
That's the problem.
With Russia working its way through Ukraine, the Poles want to serve because they're looking at 400 years of history going, oh, hell no, we're not dealing with this again.
Okay, first off, the Poles have no shot in hell. They're as well equipped as fucking Ukraine was, and they have no shot in fucking hell. Second, the Germans, dude,
they are buying and equipping the newest stuff in the world.
They had to turn to the Koreans because the German military industrial complex fell apart. They had to turn to Korea.
Yeah, they're buying tanks from South Korea, and I think some aircraft as well.
No, they're buying everything that they're looking at potentially adopting the K2.
Oh, they already have bought K2.
No,
you're talking about the tank or the aircraft?
No, the rifle, the Daewoo K2.
I'm not familiar with the rifle.
No, that. Here's the point. Their logistics line is we're buying shit from fucking Korea to equip our army now, while trying to convince the Koreans, which by the way they are failing to do so, convince the Koreans to build manufacturing facilities for said equipment in Poland. Because they can't get shit from the Germans, they can't get shit from the French. The shit that the Americans are willing to sell them is the shit that is actually meant for Americans. Like the 200 Abrams that we quote unquote sold to the Poles. No, they're on lease.
No, go ahead. Then I'll say it.
In the event of a war, those 200 Abrams were meant to be decrewed by the Poles. And then the Americans would bring in their crews and staff those tanks.
I'm not sure on the Abrams side, but on the South Korean tank and aircraft side, they have already signed and equipment has shipped and moving, and they're building factories and maintenance structures in in Poland right now.
I'm aware that they're doing it. I'm just saying,
they're doing it successfully.
If they think that's going to
them, and they will have domestic manufacture for the South Korean tanks and some of the aircraft that they're buying.
Again, my point is the fact that they had to go to the Koreans.
The South Koreans have a pretty damn good tank.
Well, yeah, cool. They can have as great a stuff as possible. Congratulations. You're still talking about a fucking logistics line absolutely fucking immense. Because here's the problem. Serious question. How long does it take to spin up that manufacturing? To the levels where the Poles are going to need it.
To the levels the Poles are going to need it, it's going to take a hell of a long time. Where they can maintain what they're buying and keep it running, not that long.
No, 15 to 20 years.
No, not to be able to maintain. To be able to make new.
Oh yeah, no. Maintain, sure, great, awesome. Problem is, shit breaks, and sometimes it breaks catastrophically.
Yeah, I agree with you. And at that level, they'll be able to deal with it. But to actually go from raw material to a working vehicle, that's going to take a while.
15, 20 years, bare fucking minimum.
Yeah, but they're minimum. So many of the damn things. I think they're contracted like over 200 of them now, and they have 90 in country.
That's fine. But again, the problem is that all that matters is new production. Maintaining a fleet is only a good thing during peacetime.
Oh, I agree.
Wartime requires new production, and the fact that the Polish logistics line is South Korea to Poland, Oh, by the way, they have to fucking sail that shit around. They can't fucking ship over land.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you entirely. I am agreeing with you. Honestly, though, I think the Poles' worst problem isn't what they have or what they don't have. Let me rephrase it. It's not what they don't have, and it's not that they aren't building domestically right now. It's, like you were saying, logistics, but from a different angle. They have so many different things that they are going to be screwed. They'll be able to run for a little while, and then
that's the point.
12 different countries and 50 different types.
No, that's the point. Is that they're looking to completely overhaul their arsenal because they learned the lesson of Ukraine. They learned that lesson. They're looking at overhauling. That's why I brought up the K2. Now, per my understanding, the Bren 2 or the Bren 3, my bad, not the Bren 2, but the Bren 3, supposedly the Bren 3 is also in the running. But they're looking at potentially overhauling fucking everything to be able to standardize across the entire force because now they're like, oh shit, like this is going to be a problem. And I apologize for my phone.
No worries.
Yeah, their biggest problem is lack of standardization. They're importing absolutely everything they can get their hands on.
Well, and
they're trying to get manufacturing and technical in the country, and they're succeeding.
I will point out two countries that are doing better than the Poles. Funny enough, Italy and Greece.
Oh yeah,
the Italians and the Greeks. By the way, they have a bunch of domestic production, and they're buying. See, here's the fun part about the Italian and the Greeks. The Italians, what are they buying from this? They're buying from munitions. Because they don't have a large-scale munitions production in Italy, which they're currently working on spinning up, which munitions, that takes no time at all to fucking spin up. Munitions is the easy one. It's the new production of vehicles and aircraft and fucking weapons that takes fucking forever to get spun up.
Yep.
In the case of the Greeks needed a whole new revamp to their fucking military, so they're just buying fucking everything that they need, and they're working on getting domestic production spun up as soon as possible.
And speaking of the Greeks, don't they still have a big-ass axe to grind with the Turks?
They've got an axe to grind with just about everybody.
Well, here's the point, is that you have... everybody, Governor Gavin Newsom is joining us for the podcast today. Welcome, Governor.
California governor hauling a 5-piece sectional couch on the back of a truck with hazard lights across the city right now. I'm like terrified. I'm looking in the rear view mirror. Cars are honking at me and shit. This is great. I need you guys to chill me out while you guys are discussing politics so I don't freak out and drop this all over the highway.
Well, we got you. But the point is that at this juncture, you look at the Italians and the Greeks. They're doing it fucking right. They're doing everything that they possibly can to prep themselves. The Italians are prepping to fight the French. The Greeks are prepping to fight the fucking Turks.
Yep.
And the U.S. is there ready to assist. And then...
Gotta love the inter-NATO rivalry. Also, my girlfriend says hello. Not girlfriend. My wife says hello.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get used to saying that, bud.
Yeah. Hello, Z.
Sick. Yeah, we also sick.
No, fun. But the point is that then you have the Poles, which the Poles are not being supported by fucking anybody. Like, again, the Abrams were on lease. And that's why they started acquiring the K2s, because they're like, well, fuck, the Leopards are garbage. The fucking Abrams aren't technically ours. Like, we're not allowed, we have to ask in the event of an emergency, they're allowed to use them, but as soon as the American crews arrive, they gotta dismount and fucking find new vehicles. In the case of the Poles, they're not supported by fucking anybody because, again, the German MIC fucking collapsed.
So what's going on with the Poles? What's going on with the Poles? Because their social media between NATO, the EU, and Russia, they're acting like an abandoned baby cat.
Okay, so let me just sum it up. They're being worked into being a demarcation zone between Russia and Europe.
Yeah, they're going to be the speed bump again. And they
no. They're not going to be a speed bump. See, here's the thing: the Russians don't want anything to do with the Poles. Here's the funny part: Tusk is talking all of his shit when he's also got his people in the background talking to the Russians about Lvov. Like, he is the biggest fucking Nancy I have ever fucking met, because I'm like, you can't, like you have Viktor Orban, who is openly talking to the Russians and coordinating with them about Transcarpathia. The Poles are too much of whiny little bitches to acknowledge, yeah, we're going to be taking Lvov off the Ukrainians' hands. And the Russians are letting us do it. Like that's the biggest fucking problem I have with the Poles, is with how much of a whiny little bitches they are. Because they are nothing more than fucking little Nancies that have gotten their panties up in a bunch because, oh, the Russians conquered us. Yeah, congratulations. So did the Prussians. So did the fucking Austrians. Congratulations, you were conquered. Welcome to being a pissant nation in the middle of everybody.
So that really sucks, because their domestic policy is like incredible.
No, their domestic policy is fucking. No, it's not. Their domestic policy is.
Compared to the places around them, yes.
Yeah, if you
general, no.
Yeah, no. If you're comparing them to the pissants that are fucking Europe and all the others, yeah, sure, Poland looks great on paper. But then you start comparing it to places like Japan or South Korea or fucking Indonesia went a little pear-shaped, but then Thailand and a few others. You start comparing them to other places around the world. You know what? I'll take the others.
Yeah.
I'll take Japan over Poland any day of the fucking week, and I'm not even Shento.
Yeah. At this point, I think it's fair to say Poland is basically the town cake. Everyone got a slice.
Nah.
Actually, I was going to say Poland is the village bicycle. Everybody's had their ride.
Well,
that too.
Now here's the fun part. Here's the fun part.
It's like, I want to settle down. Get away from me. I have 5 kids.
People.
But no, here's the fun part about Poland. Is Poland could grow the fuck up and fucking actually do something with itself. But the problem is that they love being the victim. They love it. I'm gonna say this right now.
Is Poland my sister-in-law?
The Poles are the equivalent of the quote unquote African American community in the United States.
Yeah, I could kind of.
They are the equivalent.
I can see it. They like to be the victims, and they love bitching about shit.
And they love the European welfare. They love it.
Well, they love having it around them because they can look at themselves and go, see how much better we are. It's not that they love to be able to do it. There's a big difference there.
But no, that's the whole point, is that Poles, like Black Americans look, seriously, gonna make this comparison. Black Americans look at African Americans and they're like, what the fuck? What is wrong with you?
I really like your deliberate distinction between Black Americans and African Americans.
There's a very big distinction.
Because Black Americans look at African Americans and they're like, what the fuck? Eastern Europeans look at Poland and they go like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because it's not your skin color, it's your mentality.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Other than the fact
or in the case of, you know, bitch Slav versus not bitch Slav.
You mean Ukraine?
I was gonna make a joke about Bosnians, but hey, you know, that is what it is.
Oh,
sorry, Corso. What is it? Kosovo. What's that country that's only
Kosovo?
recognized?
Kosovo?
Yeah, that's only recognized by like half of the EU.
You mean
Serbia?
You mean Kosovo, the nation that doesn't even have a government?
Yep.
Yeah.
The only nation with a statue of Bill Clinton in it.
Kosovo, a nation that only exists because Bill Clinton said it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta wonder how sloppy that was.
Oh, I know for a fact how sloppy it was. Because here's the fucked up part about it is
Kosovo.
Oh, I got dead air.
Yeah.
Gavin, are you good?
I think he cut out.
No, I'm still here. I
Okay.
didn't want to interrupt Mike.
Well, I was just going to point out like how sloppy Kosovo is. A Las Vegas prostitute is less sloppy.
Of course, it's full of Albanians. What do you expect?
Yeah, that's the great part about it is that they refer to them as they refer to themselves as Cossacks, like that's Cossacks. That's what they call themselves. They call themselves Cossacks, but they're just fucking Albanians. And then they're just mad because there happens to be Serbians that live right across the fucking street.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And then I love to make jokes. I love to make jokes about Albanians. It's like, yeah, you're just a fucking Turkic tribe, by the way. Like you're not even Slavs, technically speaking. You're Turkic.
Terrible.
How does it feel to be related to the Turks? Like, how does it feel that your cousins are some of the most hated people in the world? How does it feel?
That's funny.
Oh no, I said that to an Albanian dude one time, and he looked at me and he's like, "I'm going to fucking stab you." And I'm like, "You're welcome to try. I've got a 9 with 15 in it. Have a try if you think you're hard enough."
Nice.
What a faggot.
Oh no, because it's the truth. Like, if you actually dive deep into the Albanian fucking history, you realize really fucking quick that they're just a Turkic tribe. They settled in the area, interbred with the fucking Serbians, and then eventually you get what is called an Albanian. Like that's all they fucking are.
Yeah.
A
They're
Balkan mutt.
Yeah, literally. Like they're literally half Turk, half Serb. Congratulations, you're a mutt. Like you're not special. But yeah, no, it's absolutely hilarious to me. But the point is that at the end of the day, you know, Poland is nothing more than the whiny bitch in the corner, just like how you fucking you look at a Black Lives Matter protest. Like that's how you know Poland is not the savior of the Western world, is when I can compare them to fucking Black Lives Matter. Congratulations.
I call that,
speaking of being
hungry.
Speaking of burn, loot, and murder, I'm surprised that they haven't been all that active ever since Trump took over the White House earlier this year.
They fell apart. No, dude, the scandals and everything with BLM, they fell apart. They're done. It's over.
Yeah.
There's so much nepotism and corruption involved in BLM. They've completely fallen apart. They have no power.
Yeah.
They're done.
It basically fell apart sometime during the Biden administration when it turned out their leaders just like
Yeah, it was 2022.
Took all the money and just bought like several mansions with it. And
Yeah, the 2020. Yeah, well, no, it wasn't even just that. 2022. What we found out was that they not just the personal corruption of the leadership, but also they were funneling money into Act Blue. They were just wholesale funneling money into Act Blue, and that's where the majority of the money went, anyways.
I just successfully made it across town with this precarious couch load of couch, and it's. I think this is a very masculine moment for me. I'm very proud of myself right now. This is the epitome, dude. This is the epitome of send it. Like the stack, dude. This couch is stacked like 8 feet over the cab of my truck, and I just drove it across town.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
All right,
You just said that your name is Gavin Newsom on Discord, and you just said that, and I'm just like, that is something that Gavin Newsom would say.
Gavin Newsom couldn't drive the couch across town.
Gavin Newsom has never had a callus on his hands. What do you mean?
Yeah, truth.
All right, continue. I'm gonna go unload this thing.
Good luck.
My girlfriend has a question. My wife has a question she wants to ask.
All right, go ahead.
It wasn't a question. I just wanted to say something real quick because I heard that story. You're basically having that redneck something when you're having to pull a cherry picker to your house by have your friend in the cab while you're in the back of the truck holding the chain while your ass is planted to the tailgate to keep it together.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
That is something that I had to do. I had to hold a chain with my ass to the tailgate just to keep it from, keep it going. Because the original chain broke.
Impressive.
And I still remember when I moved, I had it right on top of my refrigerator because we couldn't get the damn thing fully seated.
Those are some impressive acts of redneckitude.
And I also have something else too. I wanted to mention this earlier, but I didn't have a chance to. But when we were talking about Antifa and shit like that earlier, have you seen the video clips of some of these people that are claiming to be former Antifa members and coming out and speaking out against that organization?
Yeah, well, fucking JD DeLay just did an interview with one of them, and
Yeah, that's what.
And here's the fucked up part about it is that everything, like, I was loving how he was going into like the whole, they pay people in drugs and shit like that. I love how he went into that because that blew people away. Like, they were like, wait, so these people are literally they're just cooking drugs and paying them with them.
Yeah.
And I've still got people, like, I went into a space right before I got my account locked. Still, I implore upon everybody, kill commies. But right before I got my account locked, I went into a space and they happened to be talking about Antifa. And I asked the gallery, I was like, hey, have you guys seen JD DeLay's interview that he did with former member of Antifa? And like 4 or 5 people immediately snapped in. They're like, yes, I fucking saw that. That was fucking insane. Like, I had no fucking clue it was that deep. And then, oh, there's a baby. And then when I started talking about like the whole financing thing and how, right now Trump and the feds as a whole, they're targeting the financing, they were like, well, yeah, that's actually something interesting about the whole them paying their members in drugs. Like, what's going to come out of that? And I'm like, well, why is the DEA involved with all the raids with ICE? Why is DEA and ATF at all of these raids? Every single one of them. There's always a team of agents with the ICE teams, and it's just every fucking time because they're finding, every time they hit one of these places, they're finding massive amounts of drugs and guns. It's just going to continue getting wilder and wilder.
And here's something else too, and forgive me for asking this, but if Antifa has all these guns and shit, why haven't they started using them yet?
Because they are scared shitless of they're scared shitless of actually fucking engaging in this. Like, they're scared shitless of it.
Yeah,
Because here's the thing that a lot of people don't seem to understand is these leftist organizations, like, some of them are self-aware. Like, for example, Motor City was self-aware enough to realize, like, they just needed to disappear because they did not have the support base that they thought they did in the Midwest. And that's why, if you actually look into it a little bit, you'll find out that a lot of the leadership of Motor City, for example, happen to be affiliated with Rose City now. Funny. And it's just a case of until shit finally fucking pops off where there are some that are stupid enough to do it, that's when the violence is going to reach fucking 11, and all of a sudden Antifa is wondering, what the fuck did we just unleash on ourselves? They know they do not win a kinetic fight. They know. And they know damn well that the cartels are just going to let them die. Like, this is the thing that a lot of... And I implore upon these leftist idiots, if you want to actually collectively bring your brain cells together and actually think for once, you don't survive the kinetic side. You're gonna get a few licks in, of course, but you don't survive the kinetic side because the cartels, who are the true standing army of your overlords, they are not going to let you live. You're nothing more than cannon fodder for them. So, be prepared. I recommend disappearing if something pops off. I recommend that. Do not let yourself get used as nothing more than a throwaway toy for the cartels.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, being as that you said that they're getting paid in drugs and stuff, the cartels are probably welcome getting rid of Antifa because that's less of a drain on their resources.
Yeah, well, I figure that a lot of Antifa is just their customers. Like a lot of the rank and file of Antifa, and the reason they're being paid in drugs is because they're like gutter street trash, right? They'd normally be strung out on drugs anyways. So.
Oh yeah, no, that is just the norm.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, they're being paid in drugs because they're fucking like street trash, and yes. And that's also why they're cowards, right? You don't see many examples of street trash engaging in anything that can be considered a fair fight, right? Every time you see Antifa not attacking one person in a pack, like there's like a brawl between groups, who always gets the shit kicked out of them? Antifa.
9 times out of 10, it is Antifa.
Yes.
Yeah, unless some of their core constituents show up.
And by core constituents, that means they're police officers that they have.
Oh, by the way.
Oh no, those are the headlines.
I just thought of a potential title for today's episode. What do you all think? Thinking of calling it Polish Wiggers and Antifa Street Trash.
I like that. It's good.
Right.
Good name.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Also, I do want to point out something about Poland, just to mog on them some more. There is a severe glut of reproduction in Poland. I wonder why they're so angry all the time.
Say again?
A severe lack of reproduction.
Oh, children.
Their demographics are going down.
No. It means they are pussy lacking motherfuckers. It's funny because Poe was dating a Pole before I met her, so that just makes it even funnier.
That reminds me. I got something to show you guys.
Hey, Dale, what time are we on?
1 moment. We are currently at 1 hour 23 minutes.
All right.
Oh, less than I thought.
Speaking of chat.
That's funny. That's funny. That's a funny one. That's dark. That's dark. I like it.
Dark humor is like food. Not everybody gets it.
Oh, I get it.
Very nice.
Oh.
I get it.
But yeah, so again, we're looking at across the board. And here's the fun part about this is because, people might be like, oh, you guys dance between war in Europe and stuff here and blah blah blah. Like, what's the connection? It's all fucking interconnected. Because the Europeans fucking they need shit started up here in the U.S. so they can collapse the fucking or they need shit here in the U.S. to distract the Americans. They need to start up a war in Europe so they can collapse the euro and replace it with the digital euro, and so on and so forth. Like, it's all fucking interconnected. You just don't want to fucking see it because, well, you're either too pussyfoot to fucking do something about it, or you're part of the problem. I do have a solution, but it's very final.
Unfortunately, that does sound about right.
Yeah.
Does anyone need a good delousing?
But yeah, no, it's a case of we're looking at a massive, and I mean fucking massive, fucking situation with here in the U.S. because they're going to try desperately to fucking get shit started. They're like, I want anybody who is on our side of this equation, and you know who you are because the Groypers know damn well that we don't like them either. You must be prepared to do incredibly violent things to people. You must be prepared because these people, if they get their way, woof woof. If they get their way, they're going to do incredibly nasty things to you and your people. Be prepared to be very, very violent, and you'll be good.
That reminds me, speaking of Groypers, did you see where Tucker Carlson interviewed King Groyper not too long ago?
I did see that pop up.
I
have not
saw that.
watched it.
Yeah, same here.
I haven't watched it. I don't plan on watching it because it's fucking... Tucker Carlson will interview fucking anybody. He's going to interview anybody because it makes him money, period, in the story. So I don't give a fuck that Tucker interviewed Nick Fuentes. I just don't care about what Nick Fuentes has to say because, well, the final solution was a good idea when it comes to people like him. Anyways.
We were talking about delousing chemicals before. He needs a de-beaning chemical.
De-beaning chemical.
Sounds about right.
No. That's where you just waterboard them. Remember, boys, all you have to do in order to get the husks off a bean is just soak it.
Well, remember this, my friends. It's not waterboarding if you use diesel.
Good to know.
Hold
Or
on,
being that's coming that time of year, it's not waterboarding if you use eggnog.
Gentlemen, give me one moment. I will be right back.
All right.
Okay.
Beautiful.
If you hear any snoring, that will be my wife. She's asleep.
Never mind. I'm not going away right now. I've been informed that Poe is currently prepping. No. But anyways, point is that again we're looking at a very good situation. Like, again, the Senate fucking around and thinking that they're Billy badasses. It's like, congratulations. Now please enforce it.
Hey, speaking of the Senate, Rand needs straight up primary. That motherfucker needs to go.
Oh yeah, no, him and several. Mitch McConnell's done, but unfortunately, he's going to try to choose his successor. The problem is that Kentucky is not friendly ground. It is hostile territory. It needs to be brought back into compliance.
Yeah, Rand, Massey, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, all of them need to go.
Greene is from Georgia.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get this computed. If the government's shut down, then why the fuck are they voting on all this shit?
I mean,
Well,
they still technically can vote on things during a government shutdown. Like, how else would they reopen the government if they couldn't vote to reopen the government?
Yeah, they just can't fund anything.
Yes. Except their own salaries, of course.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah. that needs to be banned.
It says that, well, I don't know if I told you guys this yet or not, but I honestly think that the government shutdown was engineered just to try to get people to turn on Trump's administration.
I read an article saying that Gen Z men are supposedly turning on Trump in huge numbers because of the Israel shit, but I'm like, there's nothing one-sided going on here, and Israel's not even under the spotlight anymore.
Yeah.
Like they just got a bunch of stuff put on the table to ban dual citizenship congressmen. Like, I don't understand. You cannot appease the anti-Israel crowd at all.
Oh, of course you can't.
The only thing that would appease them would be the complete and utter destruction of the state of Israel. And even though I do have my personal opinions on the Israeli government, you are not going to get rid of Israel. Israel ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So
And you know what?
I'm gonna point this out because I've talked about it previously, and you guys have heard me talk about it multiple times, but I'll just reiterate it. The problem with the whole anti-Israel thing is that nobody is understanding what the actual problem is. It's the European connection to Israel that is the problem.
Yeah.
Because the talking heads are getting louder. You got Nick Fuentes talking to Tucker Carlson of all people, which is like a major conservative voice.
Well, again, Gavin, as I said, Tucker is going to interview anybody because he makes money off of interviewing people. It doesn't matter who he interviews. What matters is that educating people on understanding what the actual problem with Israel is. MI6 is the reason why Mossad exists. Mossad is a loose cannon that MI6 uses to do dirty ass fucking things. And also, conspicuously, there is evidence showing, because people have testified about it, there is evidence showing that people with very distinctly British accents were present during October 7th, indicting the possibility that the British actually helped organize the attack on October 7th, which then also leads into, oh, wait a minute, October 7th only benefited the Europeans. The Americans didn't benefit from it. The Israelis didn't benefit from it. The only ones that benefit from chaos in the Middle East are the Europeans, which then the Europeans tried to seize upon that chaos and failed spectacularly at this point in time because the Saudis fucking refused, the Qataris refused, the fucking, the Yemenis are fucking, doing their thing. Oman is rebuking the fucking Europeans. And then the Iranians aren't done. They're not gone. They haven't collapsed, which was a complete coup de grace against the fucking goddamn Europeans. BP was already making plans. They were already talking about going back into Iran, and then Iran doesn't collapse, and guess who's talking about going into Iran?
The Europeans.
Fucking oil company, American. Fuck, what's it called again? Starts with a C.
Texaco?
No, it starts with a C. Fuck, what's it called?
Citgo?
No.
No, wait, Citgo's Venezuelan.
Hold on, sorry. My brain is fucking.
Well, I'd say Costco.
Chevron. Sorry. Chevron. Fucking Chevron. Sorry, I apologize. I have. It's been a week. I am tired. I am very, very, brains functioning as best they can. But fucking Chevron. Chevron's talking about going into fucking Iran. They're already working out details with the fucking civilian government in Iran. Oh, by the way, the IRGC is currently trying to get the civilian government back in line, and the civilian government's telling the IRGC to go fucking pound sand. Like, no. Our mandate is the fucking economy. Your mandate's the fucking military. Go fuck yourself.
That sounds like UN peacekeeping efforts again.
But no, the point is that now you have a situation where the Americans are going to be going into Iran, which the Russians are perfectly fine with, because we've already guaranteed that they would have fucking safe transit through. Oh, by the way, Azerbaijan, Armenia, what was that? That was a whole thing spun up by the Europeans and the Georgians. Oh, what happened? The Americans come in and they fucking get a peace deal signed? All of a sudden, the Russians are able to transport shit through fucking Azerbaijan, no problem?
Have you covered the strategic deal making with China and a bunch of the East Asian countries this past few days?
Oh, you mean the massive amount of money that the Chinese just gave to the Asian Tiger 5, which strategically makes no sense for the Chinese if they're planning on invading Taiwan? Oh, wait, because they're not going to invade Taiwan?
Trump just spent the past 3 days completely and utterly fucking their technology and raw material deals.
Well, yes, of course, because the Chinese. Okay, so here's the fucking problem that I have with this whole conversation. Whenever people try to talk shit about the Chinese, do you know why the U.S. is competing with the Chinese as hard as we are?
Yeah.
Refinement. The Chinese control the refinement market. Whether it's fucking refining fucking lithium, manganese, fucking China controls 90% of the fucking raw manganese refining in the world. The other 10% is split between the Russians and the Americans. Right now there is massive pushes to get sodium-ion batteries actually deployed en masse in the United States to compensate for the fact that we don't want to have to rely on manganese and lithium and all that other shit, because the Chinese fucking have the monopoly on the refining. But
after you was talking about sodium batteries a few weeks ago, I finally looked into that. Now that is some pretty promising technology right there that has a lot of advantages over lithium.
Well, the point is that at the end of the fucking day, it works better for our climate anyways.
Sodium batteries, so can you actually run them with dirty water instead of distilled water?
I don't know the full breadth of it. I understand the conduction of the ions within the battery or within the crystalline structure, and sodium just makes more sense. Because the temperature ranges for lithium are like plus 30, plus 70, basically. Whereas the temperature ranges for sodium ion is like minus 30, plus 90, 120, something like that. So you're able to
be better for extreme climates. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And oh, by the way, what is the North American continent? Fucking extreme climates.
Yeah, all around.
So it just makes more sense for us to deploy that technology en masse, which, by the way, we're starting to do. We're replacing a lot of the grid that was relying on lithium-ion batteries. We're starting to replace it with sodium-ion. They're starting to roll it out. So it's
Have they done it in Ohio yet?
No, I believe it was Iowa was one of the first places they started rolling it out.
Iowa.
Yeah, because Iowa's got a lot of electrical infrastructure that's older, so they decided they started replacing the old stuff before they started replacing the new stuff.
I feel like Arizona, California, and Alaska would be the best places to start messing with that shit.
Well, they are, but that's more. Alaska specifically is more focused on getting the infrastructure put into place to be able to move the shit in.
Got you.
Because remember, how big are these fucking transformers?
Yeah, humongous.
But how many guys? Real quick question: to move a normal substation transformer, how many trucks do you have to use? Anybody know?
How many?
No,
Off the
I
top of
couldn't tell
my head, no, but many.
4.
Jesus Christ.
It takes one truck. One truck is purely just guiding the other 3. The other 3 are pushing. That's how big these things are. But that's the point, is that we don't have the infrastructure in Alaska to fucking position this shit. And with the railroad deal that we just signed with Alberta, that's going to open the infrastructure up real fucking hard.
I saw that, or I listened to something today suggesting that all of the western provinces are probably going to follow suit.
Yep.
Yes, they are. They are. It's guaranteed.
Are they going to become United States, or are they going to do their own thing?
They're going to become U.S. territories first.
Got you.
Hold on, boys. Give me just a second.
No worries.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's those with the other western territories of Canada. It would be like if Texas seceded. All of the other southern states would secede as well, just because it's like, well, they have no political representation once, Texas goes away. Similarly to how Saskatchewan and Manitoba would cease to have any sort of political representation if Alberta goes away. Yeah, they're definitely not going to stick
here's
around.
another thing, though, in regards to that. How is the Ottawa government going to treat that, and how are the other Canadians that live outside those areas going to respond as well? Because when I was on X, I saw quite a few liberal Canadians throw a bitch fit whenever they heard about Alberta and a few of their other provinces wanting to leave.
That is what they do.
Sorry, I'm
Dale,
back.
are you in ground zero, or are you in a decent spot?
I'm in Quebec, which it's funny to me that after like the half century of Quebec trying to secede, that it's gonna be fucking Alberta that secedes before us. Yeah, I just find that really funny. Because, like, Alberta's only been trying this for, like, less than 10 years. Like, Quebec has been actively trying to secede since the 60s.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Alright. Let's see here.
And I would suspect that if they do manage, Quebec is going to try again. And hopefully this time, Quebec also succeeds. It succeeds
So you're gonna
in
be,
seceding.
You going to be relocating to the western side of Canada if they decide to drop out?
I'm probably going... By the time it happens, I'm probably going to have already relocated myself to a better country. By which I mean the one down south.
Oh, got you.
Yes.
Hey, boys, side chat.
Alright.
The federal government is Lord of the Rings posting, and you're blackpilling?
I saw that.
Yes.
So what's up with the social media presence of the White House lately? It's been a little weird.
What do you mean?
Oh,
Just going Halo and Lord of the Rings posting. It's just like,
Well,
the government is being run by posters. That's all.
No,
you have to
the
know.
government is being ran by Baron fucking Trump,
Yes.
social media wise.
Yes.
That would not surprise me.
Oh,
No, it's been soft confirmed because
Oh, really?
somebody. Okay, so apparently a reporter attempted to ask Baron about his potential role within the government, and they specifically did bring up the social media stuff, and Baron just smiled and fucking walked off.
Jeez.
oh,
Like, he just smirked and then fucking walked the fuck off. That man is running at, like, I suspect that he's got a fucking team, like 1 or 2 guys at each fucking goddamn department, and he's got he's got a laundry list of fucking memes. They fucking send him something, he says yay or nay, and then they fucking post.
You know, that's exactly what I was thinking, because from the way the White House social media's been acting here lately, I've been thinking that Baron Trump or somebody around his age has been having a hand in this.
Oh, absolutely.
By the way, did you all see the inflatable J.D. Vance decoration the White House had for Halloween?
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Okay.
Was that real or was that photoshopped? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was
if
real.
that becomes real, I will call for a dissolution of the 25th Amendment and the re-election of Donald Trump to president until the end of his days. Period. End of fucking story. I do not give a solid fuck. there is not even a 1% chance I will be like, nope, we are electing this man until the end of his days. Period. End of story. There's no option here.
I'm good with that.
If they lean into that meme that fucking hard, JD, you're gonna have to wait a few years, bud. You'll get your turn. You're just gonna have to wait.
Oh, I'd be willing to bet that they're going to be leaning hard into that meme. Because what's the old saying? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yep.
Or maybe, don't interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake.
Yes.
They made a fucking mistake. They made one of our guys into a meme, and then our guys fucking leaned into it as hard. Like, when I first saw it, I thought it was the funniest little derpiest thing ever, and I'm like, it fits a boy from Ohio so fucking well, it's uncanny. like you tried to mog a fucking Ohioan? Motherfucker, it's Ohio. We mog ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, congratulations, you just handed us so much ammunition. The fucking Japanese are sitting there like, bro, you guys had a song for this. Don't fucking do it.
Yes.
Speaking of Ohio, check the side chat.
Oh God. Yeah.
Why are the trees speaking in banjo and zen? What's going on?
Paddle faster! I hear banjos!
That's the truth.
An Ohioan's been here. How do you know? Empty white monsters in zen cans.
That reminds me. Even though it is the 2020s, there's still places down here in the southeast to where whenever the sheriff's department has to go out there, they have to come ahead before showing up.
Oh yeah.
Brother, they have to basically do that here in Ohio too. You know that, right? Like the sheriff's department will call up a place, especially down in southeast Ohio. They will call up because if it's like a non-emergency, of course they're not going to roll up with their lights on. They will call ahead and be like, "Hey, we need to talk to you. Just letting you know we're coming out." Because they know damn well if they roll into a fucking driveway that they might have a couple rifles pointed at them from the house.
Just out of curiosity, what are the demographics of Southeast? You said it was Southeast Ohio, right? What are those demographics like, as opposed to Ohio?
Basically West Virginia.
Yeah, it's basically West Virginia.
Oh, I see.
Another real, like, honestly speaking, like, legit shit. Ohio is great because you kind of get a mix. Like, Ohio is what we refer to as a picture of the U.S. You get a little bit of fucking everything with Ohio. Like, across the board, if you want to know the state of the United States, look at Ohio. Because each part of Ohio represents a different part of the country in some form or fashion. It's actually really cool.
You got the South, you got the polar North, you got the East Coast, and you got the Midwest.
Yeah, seriously, if you want an idea of the how are the East Coasters acting? Go to fucking Cleveland. Go to fucking Sandusky. Go to those places. You'll understand real fucking quick. Like, oh, you want to understand East Coast politics? Go to fucking Catawba.
Did you say Sandusky?
Yeah.
Isn't that where Callahan Automotives is at?
What?
Tommy Boy.
Oh, yes, actually, yes, you are correct. But yeah, no, it's Ohio is fucking great like that. Like you literally get a little bit of fucking everything here, and it's hilarious. Like, do you guys realize that every time we bring up fucking Ohio, it just becomes an Ohio appreciation stream at that point? It's like I just sit here and I'm like, yeah, like honestly speaking, like there's nothing you're missing in Ohio. Like literally, we have everything here in Ohio. Like there's not a single. The only thing that anybody else has on us is like Florida, but it's like yeah, but we have really nice beaches here too. So, like, I don't care. I don't care about Florida. Like if I want to go to the beach, I'll go to the lake. I don't need to go to Florida.
Yeah.
And I don't have to deal with the humidity. Like that's the great thing is I don't have to deal with Florida humidity while going to the beach. It's awesome.
Yep.
You know, I was checking to see where Chris Farley was from, but he's from Wisconsin, actually.
Something like that.
Home of the
Oh,
cheese
Lord.
curds.
Oh, so real quick because I have Dale here, and I'm just we were talking about video games before we started. I just want to talk about video games a little bit more. When do you want to sit down and do the recording for the video that you wanted to do with me?
When is good for you? Would Saturday work?
No, Saturday's off limits. I can do Sunday.
All right, Sunday works.
Yeah, because I'm doing a special security detail with my dad and one of his boss. So I'm gonna be I basically I'm expecting to have a 14-hour day. So.
Fair enough.
And then with Sunday, I'm not working because I'm going to be doing 14-hour fucking day. Actually, tomorrow night, probably about midnight, I'm going to drive down to my dad's so that I can catch some Z's and then go do that shit.
I see.
So yeah, Sunday works. I'm actually planning on recording tomorrow, so I will have another video for you to do.
Oh, very good.
So, anyways, honestly speaking, I think we covered most bases. To be completely frank,
Yep.
like I think we got to talk shit about stupid people, and we got to talk shit about polls, which honestly I think that's a good day.
Yeah. So we got to talk shit about one thing.
Only one thing?
Yeah.
Only one thing. God damn.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yes. So, and does anyone else have any final thoughts?
Yeah, moving sucks.
What did you say? Yeah, moving sucked.
Moving sucks.
Okay, I did hear you right.
My grandparents on my brother's side would agree with you.
My final thought: Japan is actually our greatest ally.
Oh yeah, Japan is absolutely okay. So real quick, I guess let's talk about this real quick because I kind of covered it but didn't cover it too well. All right, so to all the people that are concerned about Israel, let me explain something that you need to understand. Why are you mad about the relationship with Israel that the United States have or has, and not the relationship we have with Japan? What makes Israel different?
Actually, I at least personally I can answer that for myself. because Japan is not exploiting a fucking cult that thinks that they need to exist for Jesus to come back, and exploiting that cult for everything it's worth to get our shit.
Okay, so let me explain this like this, or explain that like this. One, where does that cult come from?
The mid 19th century in America. But
No, doesn't.
Didn't you say it was a British motherfucker that came up with that?
The Zionist movement comes out of the UK.
It was Schofield. I started reading the Bible on one of his study Bibles.
it wasn't Schofield. It was John Nelson Darby. Schofield just popularized it when he did his study Bible.
Yeah, he popularized it in the United States.
Yeah.
But that's the point. Zionism comes out of the UK. And then Schofield brings Zionism to the US. And then Zionism is the foundation by which you have the Zionist movement in Israel. Now, there was an ancient Zionist movement, because what is Zion? Anybody?
The mountain?
Well, yes, but what's the word actually like? What is it indicative of?
You wouldn't.
I knew until you asked.
Yeah.
Zion refers to the city of David.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what it refers to. So Zionism is the reestablishment of the city of David. Like that's the whole thing. But the problem is that ancient Zionism is, hey, we want to reestablish the kingdom of Judea, basically. Which, okay, cool, understandable. The Romans fucking burned that shit to the ground, and the Jews kind of have an axe to grind over that. Understandable. Frankly speaking, probably one of the most understandable things ever. I would be pissed too if the Romans burned my shit down. Let's be honest, we all would be pissed. Yeah. By the way, the Americans got pissed when the British burned Washington D.C. to the ground, and then we proceeded to beat their ass into next year. It is what it is. We kind of don't like that shit. But the problem is that then you have modern Zionism, which then you look into the time period in which modern Zionism comes into play, and you start to realize, oh shit, like, the Brits were prepping one of the most masterful fucking deception campaigns ever. Like, the book is literally written. The book is published. The book is available. It is literally called How the British Invented Communism and Blamed It on the Jews. Mm-hmm. Zionism was literally a vehicle for them to start influencing things across the board. Now, when it comes to the Jews themselves in the UK, or in Europe, and then now in Israel, Zionism was a vehicle to control them. Because, let's face it, the British needed a hyper-nationalistic population that they could protect the Suez Canal. That's what Israel was meant to be for the Brits. That was the only thing. The Jews were meant to be good little foot soldiers, defend the Suez. That's all your only job. But then the Brits ran into a problem. The Americans, because they didn't realize, oh shit, like, the Americans actually have a bit of a fondness for these people. Shit. Fuck. They're supposed to be good little foot soldiers, supposed to die for us, not be friends with the Americans. And that's the problem. Now, yes, Schofield and Darby, their whole goal was to spread Zionism and by extension, the evangelical movement, spread it far and wide in an attempt to influence people to be okay with this movement, et cetera, et cetera. But what they didn't truly comprehend was the fact that, oh shit, like, people actually have there's a genuine fondness, especially from the American side of things. Understand, Americans, we always love the underdog. We always have, we always will. It's just in our nature. There's a reason why we just kind of go for this shit. Do I like it? Not necessarily, because I think we need to, honestly speaking, we need to curtail it in order to understand, like, hey, there's nuance here. Like, for example, the Ukrainians. You know, the Ukrainians aren't the big underdog that we think they are. They're a bunch of fucking genocidal fucking douchebags. But I digress. The point is that the Israelis, you look at the relationship the Israelis have with the United States, you're looking at the same relationship the Japanese have with the United States. Now, when it comes to, you know, the Zionist movement in Israel, a lot of the hardcore Zionists, they don't get along with each other. Like, you look at the politics in, like, literally look at a breakdown, a political party breakdown of the Knesset. Like, seriously, pull it up right now, Dale, and just look party makeup of the Israeli Knesset. There's like 20 or 30 parties.
Yes.
Like, the coalition that Netanyahu has to have right now in order to have control of the government is fucking insane. And mind you, all those parties fucking hate each other, basically.
Yes.
Like, it's insane to me how the Knesset functions in any way, shape, or form. Mind you, it barely functions as is. But the fact that it functions at all...
Really?
The fact that it functions at all is fucking insane to me. So, what you end up having with this is that it's like, no, you shouldn't hate the Israelis because they're the Israelis. You should hate the Israelis because they allow themselves to be the whipping boys for the Europeans. That's what you should hate them for. The fact that they're comfortable being the whipping boys. Israel needs to grow the fuck up. And mind you, the money that we give, and I've explained this before, but I'll explain it again because, you know, I would love to have and really truly have this in front of kids. And I say kids because, by the way, you know, talking to the Zoomers, I'm 30, motherfucker. Like, you're a kid to me. I would love to explain to them this one thing. The money that we give to the Israelis on a normal basis is used purely for R&D stuff. And we own those patents. Anything the Israelis develop, we own the rights to. We produce it in the United States. We sell it back to them for profit. Like, this is a very one-sided relationship we have with them. Like, it's not really beneficial to the Israelis because the Israelis, you know, I forget the name of the fighter jet off the top of my head. Hold on, let me
15, 16, F4.
No, it was a domestic design of theirs.
Oh, yeah, I'm drawing a blank, but I know which one you were talking about. That thing, vicious.
The Kafir?
Huh?
The Kafir?
Yeah, the Kafir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But the Kafir was a fucking nasty little son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, for anybody that wants to know what the Kafir looks like, it looks like your average Western design Delta Wing jet fighter. It was basically their version of a Mirage.
Well,
yeah,
no,
then had a touch of Ace Combat added to it.
Well, okay. Let me just kind of explain it a little better. It is a evolution of the Mirage design, which, mind you, the Mirage is the last time that the French developed a good aircraft. Everybody likes to. Sorry, I hit my mic. Everybody likes to throw praise upon the Rafale. The Rafale is garbage compared to the Mirage. Like, frankly speaking.
The Rafale is very good at what it was designed to do. As long as you keep it in what it was designed to do and the theater it was set up for, it's very good. As soon as you try and do more than it's capable of, it falls apart.
Yeah. The Mirage, not so much. The Mirage was kind of a pretty solid jack of all trades. It actually compares to the F-16 very well, funny enough.
Yep.
Because the F-16, depending on what block you're flying, that determines what avionics you're working with. The F-16 can basically do it at fucking all. The Mirage was the same fucking way, especially in the Mirage 5. Which the Mirage 5 was the quintessential, zenith of that line of aircraft.
Well, the Mirage 5 was basically their F-16.
Yeah. And the Kafir took what the Mirage 5 did and amped it up to 11.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, so you have an aircraft that is immensely capable and immensely fucking just powerful. And they stopped using it because the US forced them to.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
We made the deal with them, like, hey, if you want our advanced air-to-air munitions, which, by the way, those munitions are only usable with the F-16, you're gonna need to stop producing your own aircraft. You're gonna have to buy F-16s. And that was kind of what it was left up to, is like, either you continue doing your own thing or you buy our stuff. We forced them into it. And a lot of the more militaristic Israelis don't like that deal. They think it was a complete backstab to the Israeli state.
Oh, it was.
And so it was very much a case of, at the end of the day, if the Israelis could get out from under the United States and actually become true partners, they would. They can't because they're kind of in a position where it's like, okay, well, in the event we do get attacked, the Americans are going to come help us. And if we try to get out from under that, similar to what happened with the South Koreans, the Americans might try to overthrow us. Like, that's kind of the whole thing. Like, that whole coup in South Korea, like, everybody is like, what the fuck happened with that? Like, what was that weird shit? That was the U.S. Because
the South Koreans might not need to worry about that for much longer with their immigration, with their, not immigration laws, but their voting laws for foreigners. They got a serious problem.
Yeah, well,
Foreigners can vote in South Korean elections?
Yes, if they live there for 4 years, they can vote in national elections.
Again, I'm just going to point out that South Korea and North Korea are going to rejoin together at some point in time in the near future, and South Korea is not going to be the senior partner. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and they have a lot of issue with Chinese coming in and a couple other countries, and it's just, South Korea is not going to be South Korea in about 10 to 12 years.
But the point is that at the end of the day, you've got a situation where, again, looking at the Israelis and being like, they control the United States. It's like, no, that's not what's happening.
I don't know.
Like,
it's not necessarily that they control the U.S., it's that the evangelicals control the U.S., and they're religiously devoted to another country.
But that's the problem, is that I've already made the statement that I want to turn Nebraska into a concentration camp.
Yes, I agree. They only,
and I want to stick all the evangelicals in it.
Yes.
But here's the point, and that's a key thing. We've gone through this before. The Puritans, the Quakers completely trounced the Puritans, nationally speaking. The Puritans, the only power that the Puritans have now is that they control the higher education. It's the only thing they've got. The evangelicals, we can handle them very similarly. The problem is that people refuse to understand that it's a U.S. problem, not an Israel problem. Because if you vote these motherfuckers out of office and get rid of them, all of a sudden you create the conditions where, okay, cool. Now we don't have a problem. We can look at Israel and be like, Israel, you got to handle your shit. You got to grow the fuck up. But the problem is that the evangelicals, and again, the evangelicals are part of the problem. The Israelis hate the evangelicals just as much as we hate the evangelicals.
Yes.
The evangelicals are the ones that force these deals upon the Israelis. And it's the same thing. We literally, think about it. We cut the Japanese loose. We told the Japanese, okay, you're good to start rearmament. All of a sudden, the Japanese fucking went hog wild.
Yeah, that's actually something I was going to ask. When do you think the Japanese were going to let the Japanese go nuts in a military rebuild?
We already did.
Oh, did we?
2016. The armistice was up in 2018. We already in 2016, Trump already talked to Shinzo and told Shinzo, here's the deal. This is what we want. This is what we want you to be prepared for. Can you do it? Shinzo was like, "Oh, hey, hell yeah, brother. We can do a lot more. How big of an empire do you want?" But the problem is that when the armistice was up in 2018, unfortunately, there was a bit of a credit issue, and that credit issue would then manifest itself in September of 2019 with the repo crisis. And then when the repo crisis happened, it put a speed bump in the development of the plan for Japanese rearmament. And then by the time 2020 rolled around and Biden took over and his stewardship began, Tony Blinken came to the Japanese and tried to strong-arm them, basically. Because Tony Blinken was like, hey, you need to start shipping things to the Ukrainians after 2022 started. And then all of a sudden, the Japanese are like, okay, sure, we'll ship a little something. And then all of a sudden, you actually look into it, the Japanese were shipping the minimum. Like, they were sending as little as they possibly could in order to maintain their stockpiles.
Here's pistol ammunition. Have fun.
And then, as soon as Trump took back over, it was on like Donkey Kong again. They stopped shipping stuff to Ukraine completely, and then they started pushing the recruitment numbers. Then Trump gave his blessing for the plan that the Japanese have developed, and then this new chick that just came into power, she's got the blessing of the emperor.
Oh, he is hardcore.
She just
at least
had...
looking that way.
Guys, I apologize. I have been interrupted. My presence has been demanded. Hello, baby girl.
No.
Absolutely no reason to apologize for that, ever.
Here,
Agree. But I do have something I wanted to ask.
Go ahead.
In the Japanese Constitution, isn't it actually illegal for them to sell military equipment to other countries?
So this was technically not their military equipment. The U.S. has massive stockpiles in Japan that are technically on lease to the Japanese. They've done some hinky shit to bypass the Constitution, basically, and those stockpiles, because the Japanese control the stockpiles, the U.S. had to tell the Japanese to ship stuff. But then the Japanese, again, did the minimum, shipping the very minimum stuff that they could, and then as soon as they were out from under the Biden custodialship, actually, really, let's face it, the U.S. was in conservatorship for fucking 4 years. That's how bad that was. As soon as they were out from under that, then they started doing their thing again.
Let's put it this way.
Talking about their rearmament.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, there are 2 Izumo-class helicopter carriers, quote-unquote helicopter carriers. They just recently refitted them to be able to operate F-35s.
Yep. Yeah, I do want to point this out. These motherfuckers are tricky. Like, I love the Japanese so fucking much. because so one of the things that me and Mitch have had a discussion about, I believe, Stoner, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe you were there for these conversations, where we talked about how the U.S. desperately needs a mid-sized carrier because the super carriers, yeah, it's a cool concept, but at the same time, when you can build and produce almost 3 mid-sized carriers like Midway classes for the cost of one of the Gerald R. Fords, it's like that's a pretty big amount of power projection you could do. Yeah. And on top of that, it decentralizes our overall naval air wing capacity or naval airlift capacity to the point where it's like, oh, hey, if we lose one carrier, we don't lose the entire strike group.
Yeah, the problem with super carriers is you need a minimum of 9, and you should have 12 at any one time.
Yep.
And we simply cannot afford to do that anymore.
I personally have the mentality, and this is just what I'm seeing. Oh. Hi, baby.
Where if we did mid-size, we could also do super carriers at 3 or maybe 4, and have one rotating through the system per deployment, where it's either mid-size or having mid-size by themselves. And if something goes really wrong, you send the super carrier with a couple mid-size.
So the idea that me and Mitch had built up was the idea of having 4 super carriers, 2 in the Pacific, 2 in the Atlantic. And then you have one of them on rotation at all times. So you would have...
if you're going to do... At that point, you really need 3 in any one area. Because you got 1 training, you got 1 out, and you got 1 in maintenance.
Okay, well, there you go.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think this is relevant. Since we were talking about South Korea a bit earlier, new Trump tweet just dropped. I'm curious what you all think. I just posted it in the chat.
Okay, well.
I will include this.
Yes. Oh, Rand Paul is gonna be pissed. Oh my god.
The South Koreans are going to be building an SSN?
Holy shit. Oh my god.
What's an SSN?
Bro. Nuclear submarine.
Fast attack nuclear submarine.
Yes. Holy shit. Yeah, because South Korea only operates fast attack boats. But here's the thing. $600 billion in investments, $350 billion in additional funding because, hey, please lower the tariffs. Oh, yeah. Baby. I to the stream, you're gonna have to deal with this now.
No worries.
Okay, hold on. I apologize, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and drop out. I guess we should end it here. All right. She is definitely getting a little fussy.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So
Talk
long,
to you
everyone.
later, man.
See you next week.
See you guys.
Charles.
All right.